This video and the next couple of videos I'm going to be making will be about how I married a psychopath. This video is going to tell you his background story, and he is since deceased October of 2016. We did divorce in 2010, and I'm going to just give you a little background about him. All right, so his name was Doug. He was born in Allegheny, Pennsylvania, to Wayne and Blanche. Sorry, totally forgot. He was number 3 child. Marion was his oldest sister. Jack was his older brother. Then it was him, his younger brother Steve, and his baby sister Christine. Okay, so around the age of 5 or 6, and I cannot tell you for sure because I never did get a straight answer from him, his father and brother were on a body of water. I'm not sure if it was a little river or a lake, but they were on top of it. It was a February time period, so they were on the ice. They both fell through. His father survived. His brother did not. Because of this, his mother lost it. I mean, if I lost my Ian, I tell you what, I would be in the same boat. Anyway, she wound up being institutionalized for a time. And only his father, Wayne, who they all call Jack, was around to take care of the children. Well, he told me that his Aunt Romaine had come to the house and had seen that they had nothing to eat. Jack was passed out drunk, and she wound up calling the authorities. Children's Services came. Marion was old enough that she could move out on her own, and I believe she got married. The second child, of course, Jack, had passed, so that left the 3 little ones, and the 2 boys were sent to the House of Providence, and I believe that was in Syracuse. And his sister went with a relative. And from what Christine has told me, her entire relationship with this uncle was horrific, and I can only imagine. Anyway, Steve and Doug grew up in the House of Providence, and then they were switched to the House of Good Shepherds, until finally at the age of 17, when Doug was a senior in high school, they were aging him out. He'd have to have gone to a individual instead of a group home. He didn't want that, and he said, I want me and Steve to be raised by our mother. I want her to take responsibility. Now, she had remarried by this time, and she had 2 young sons. Now, the thing about it is he idolized his father. His father could do no wrong. And I thought, wow, this guy's terrific. And he had nothing but horrible things to say about his mother, which is a shame because, you know, walk a mile in my shoes. According to Christine, who I met and had long conversations with on the phone as well, she told me that Blanche had tried, many, many weekends. She had had custody of Christine and the 2 boys by the time Doug had come, and Steve. But she told me that Blanche had spent many weekends riding all over New York trying to find her 2 boys, which I can understand. Jack died when Doug was 13. So I can only imagine what it must have been like to not be able to find your kids. And as someone who has watched a lot of Unsolved Mysteries, you can go back into those episodes and see how messed up the New York State foster care and adoption was in the 60s, and it was just horrible. And so I really believe that she did go. And Christina had the paperwork, but when we had the chance to visit, she never, pulled it out. And like I said, Doug never believed that. He only believed in everything good about Jack, everything bad about Blanche. Okay, so I also have the word of the oldest sister, Marion, that Jack used to beat Blanche terribly. And many times he didn't care if it was in front of the kids or not. So St. Jack, according to Doug, could do no wrong. And he saw that, many times his mother and father into fights, and the mother beaten into unconsciousness, and the drunk father just goes off and does his own thing. So I have to tell you, he denies it, or denied it, rather, because he's passed. He denied it his entire life because, like I said, St. Jack could do no wrong. Some of the other things he had told me about growing up in the system was he lost his virginity at the age of 8 and was very proud of losing his virginity. When I told him that was sexual abuse, child abuse, he told me, no, you don't understand. I liked it. And I was like, well, it's abuse. Whether you liked it or not, it's abuse. And he was in the system in a time when it's vital for children to have such good and loving parents to show them how to become good, responsible, loving adults. He has none of that. He fakes everything. Cries on a dime because he thinks that's what you want, or just, there's so many, and I'm going to get into it in a later video. Abuses that he sustained during his time in the system, he was proud of. He thought that he was a wonderful person because he survived it. And yeah, that's great. He survived it. But he couldn't see that surviving's one thing, but thriving is another. He had no empathy. He faked emotion. He lied straight-faced. And my biggest regret was not seeing through it. But hey, that's just the way it is. So, like I said, his early childhood was group homes, abuse in his own family, and the loss of an older brother. And all of that, I truly believe, is what shaped this man into being a psychopath. And I can honestly say psychopath because I have done enough research since we split in 2009 on what a true psychopath is. And I have to share, I have this book. I don't know, did I bring it out? Oh, I didn't bring it out. It's called Why Is He Like That? It's by Lundy Bancroft. If you are a victim of domestic violence, I highly recommend that you get this book. I'll put a link in the description to Amazon. No, I'm not getting paid or endorsed for any of this. But he opened my eyes to why men abuse and why I was with someone who was so abusive. And so I'll continue this in another video, and thanks for listening.